Hello everyone, this is me, Mr. Tyrex here, and welcome back to Knuckles Chaotix. We're now playing as Vector, who knows where to find... If he knows where to find the computer room, just ask him. Yeah, I know, that is an old joke. Oh well. Let's grab Knuckles. Yeah, I was watching. Yeah, this joke was like over like a decade. I don't even know how that is still a joke. Alright, Botanic Base. Alright, let's see if we can find the computer room for him. At Botanic Base. Yeah, I know, like... Yeah, sorry, it was just like controller was acting up. Oh, by the way, if you did that and pressed A... Alright, we gotta place Knuckles right there. Alright, now that's a good place. Yeah, what's weird about that ring placement is it was placed on -1. And yeah, it can go into the negatives the more you hit A to place your character in the right spot. And as you saw, I just got hit by one of the Batnicks right there. What I want to do is like grab as many rings, but if I don't have enough, we can just get a move on. And of course there is dead end. It is like you have to find alternate ways. Like those elevators right there that move you around the map. I mean, move you around the level. I'm gonna spin dash again, just in case, and then we swap characters. I got a character swap right there. Oh yeah, good thing. And there was the Cater Killers that are redesigned looking like, too. And let's head into that. This is the other special stage where if you head into that special ring, woo, we're surrounded by exits. Yeah, and also keep in mind, there's also exits, and also every second that takes off your ring too. This is what I'm going for, that S thing. It's really, really helpful. Really helpful stuff to have. And also what Vector can do is do a little dash up there with his... He can also climb walls, Vector. Since I didn't know if Vector, that crocodiles actually did climb walls. But yeah, Vector and SBO are reptiles. While Charmy's actually an insect. And Vectors and SBO are reptiles. Let's go into that ring for the special stage. Alright, I have like the 32X, so about the 32X, that I actually own the 32X since 2021 when I was like doing collecting for the Sega Genesis, because Sega was like the first console I started out with, was like Sega related, and it was like Sega's last console, the Dreamcast, of course. And so I got a Genesis, and I actually got enough money to buy myself a 32X, and even in Mega EverDrive, well, X5, I upgraded to the Pro like a couple years back on it. And also due to complexity of the 32X, you can't play Master System games on it, even if you're using any Mega EverDrive. Any Mega EverDrive, I think, can play load 32X games, but you have to have the 32X attached to it. Know what I mean? You can't just play 32X right off the bat. No, you have to have the 32X in the Genesis, all plugged in with its own power adapter and such like that. It can't be its own independent system. That's what, like, if you guys know the Angry Video Game Nerd, he talked about it, and I got the Tower of Power cord. Even included with even had the SNES, the Super Nintendo power cord. That makes it even more convenient right there. Alright, since we have the claw and the selector power-ups from that giant ring stage, we can choose whatever we want, whatever character we like, as long as we don't choose heavy, that is. Let's choose Charmy. I was meant to get Charmy, but I ended up getting Knuckles. Either character's good as long as you don't get heavy. And now, watch this. This power-up slows down everything. And we're gonna go to Botanic Base. Try to get that zone finished up with. Alright, level 3. And, like, you gotta try to find your way out of here. Also, it's best to collect as much rings as you can. Avoid those things because they send you up there. Those enemies right there with the spikes on their head, they like to send you up there, and they can really be fucking annoying too. Like, and yeah, this got like a lot of batnicks right there. Here too. And we could speed run through this zone as Charmy the Bee. Look at Charmy go at this stage. But of course, the reversal's running out, so it's gonna be back to Vector. Yeah, you only have a limited time to use that power-up. I wish there was character switching throughout the game. See what... Yeah. Yeah, I think it just leads to that. Yeah, we're at a dead end. We ought to take it, Charmy. Come on. Okay. Yeah, I think this is a dead end. I think we'll climb the wall right here. Oh, there's a button right here. Didn't know that. Alright. Yeah, you can get a character or something to throw them at the button or do it yourself. Yeah, sometimes there'll be buttons there you have to press. Especially with the Marina's base. And I got a shield. Just be careful of those enemies. They can explode on you and you can lose all your rings too. No joke, but thankfully I got a shield. That way I get hit without losing rings. It's always nice to have rings, especially when you're going to the special stage. And we got invulnerability. It's good. Always good to have, and we can scale up here. Oh, jeez. Alright, good. And I scaled down. That invulnerability did come helpful indeed. And Vector can skip through this stuff too, which is awesome. And now for the next Chaos Ring, I go. Alright, now we also... Alright, for the 32X. For games that I own... There's actually 2 games that I own complete in box for the 32X, which is Virtual Racing, which is Deluxe, which is its launch title. Much better than... runs much better than the Sega Genesis version. Of course, it's not arcade perfect, but it adds more than what the arcade does, and it's even better than the OK Saturn port too, because this was done in-house by Sega. But doesn't mean, but it's just like, yeah, even though if it's made by Sega, it doesn't mean it can be good. Like the port of World Heroes proved that wrong. But I digress. Well, the Genesis port of World Heroes I was talking about. But we're talking about Virtual Racing on the 32X. You get extra, like 2 extra laps and more cars, I think. It's like, they also had like different cartridges too. Like, all these 32Xs, like, I have the manual, and I pull out the cartridge right here now, and yeah, they look different. Reason being is if you put a 32X cartridge, shell cartridge in the Genesis, it won't fit because it's meant to fit in the 32X. Yeah, good thing I got the complete in box. It was like $25 I got complete in box. Because, yeah, the cartridges are expensive and they're rarity too. And Virtual Fighter, I have like gotten complete in box for $40. Very good port and such. Like, all these Sega AM2 ports are pretty damn good on 32X. Pretty much one of the best of the 32X experience. Even though it should have been focused more on the Sega Saturn. But yeah, it's like, it's just like 32X was a double-edged sword with games like these. And if the Saturn had more time and not focused on 32X, they probably would have been better on Saturn. Who knows? Alright, we are back. And I'm playing as Knuckles this time. Now, let's see if we can get Mighty. There we go. And now let's hopefully select a level. There we go. We got Botanic Base again. Yeah, it's like it can be RNG, but it's not really RNG if I say so myself. I don't know. I'm not making any sense. Bless me. Whew. Just sneezed right there. Alright, gonna... No, I didn't mean to do that. Alright, let's get this thing... Oh, it forms into a bridge, that door. Alright. Thanks to Knuckles climbing and got. Alright. Probably was the ring, but we don't have like 50 rings. Alright. Gotta enter through this door instead. And dash right here. Alright, thanks to the partner system being a dope tool. There. And Mighty's big. I was gonna turn big. Come on, man. Alright. Hold and... Alright, he's been downscaled. And this is a door of goodies. Right here is like a hallway where you can actually get some goodies. Here. See? I don't wanna take that. Nice to be getting a whole hallway of goodies, and it not only does this treat as a hallway, but it does give you a shortcut too. Go. And go through this elevator. Luckily, if we lose a ring, we have all of our rings all bundled up. I think these rings were reused in Sonic Mania. I did replay Sonic. I did encounter rings like the ring bundle like that in Sonic Mania. Let's see if it... Yeah. It's like Sonic games work, you have to find an alternative way to... Alright, there's the button. Maybe I'll grab Mighty to see if... There we go. Just getting nothing but rings, and there's barely enemies we've encountered so far. And speaking of enemies, there's one right there. And be careful of those kinds of batnicks right there. I think we're near the exit. We gotta be close. Alright, that's a dead end. It's nice to use the Knuckles glide. And now off to the final special stage. Alright, so I might as well talk about, like, the Chaotix, Knuckles Chaotix history. Well, after Knuckles Chaotix came out, they weren't featured much aside from the Archie comics, because the Chaotix wouldn't be reintroduced again until Sonic Heroes. Well, 3 of them anyway, which was Vector, Charmy, and Espio. And excluding Mighty, probably because Sonic Heroes consist of 3 per hero team. And right after that, Mighty was not introduced into that era of Sonic. He stayed back in like the Archie comics, which I think are the best interpretation of the Chaotix, if I have to say so myself. It's like they do like detective work and everything in the Archie comics, which borrowed elements from the video game, but couldn't extend the cast, probably because publishing rights, I guess, if I'm guessing so. I do own an Archie comic that features the Chaotix, which is the Mecha Madness comic I have right there. And those Archie comics are getting more expensive because they're more rare to own nowadays. So now, like, they don't... It's like IDW doesn't reprint these old Archie runs, unfortunately. Wish they did, but unfortunately they can't. I don't think they can. I don't even know if it's like IDW themselves or Sega of America. It's real complicated to say the least. Yeah, so about the Mecha Madness issue where the Chaotix were featured in, they were like fighting against a group called the Fearsome Foursome, led by Mammoth Mogul, a major antagonist in the Archie comics, by the way. Real powerful and character who's like immortal, and he's got like, he's pretty much a mix of the Kingpin mixed with Vandal Savage. And I've been reading those comics back in the high school years. I was like really intrigued on the extended universe of Sonic, and it was like pretty much the best version of Sonic the Hedgehog in my personal opinion. Yeah, not everything was gold with that continuity, but it did have like a lot of excellent ideas on the table if they were introduced in video games, movies, etc. What a relief to be done with those special stages. Alrighty, let's see if I can grab Espio. There we go. Let's choose a level besides Botanic Base. Yep, Amazing Arena, of course. I don't like Amazing Arena, but we're gonna get this stage. Alright, we gotta rely on these to turn the power on. Don't matter, we finished the special stage. It doesn't matter if we lose rings or not. Those stupid pendulum enemies can be very annoying. And there it is, to turn the power on. Now we can finish the stage. And if I didn't tell you already, like, with Amazing Arena, in order to finish this level, you have to turn the power on. And if you don't turn the power on, well, then you can't complete the level. You have to start the level all over again and try to turn the power on. Turning the power on is a must. And I've been scaled up. Look at Mighty all scaled up in that UFO. Yeah, so that's another reason I really don't like Amazing Arena. You have to turn the... Then there is another one for turning the power on. Yeah, the only way for us... We have to take the UFO again. Yeah, there's many other places you can turn the power on. There's not one place you don't have to, like, turn the power on. Yeah, as it shows, like, you could turn on the power in multiple places in Amazing Arena. There's, like, so much pathways. And of course we take the UFO. What's gonna take us to? Alright, doesn't take us to power. Alright. Oh, but my partner gets it. I was gonna get Charmy, but it's whatever. And now another mini boss. Wait for his head to... And we took it out with ease. Awesome. We earned 60 rings. Espio's bouncing me all over the place right here. I managed to get through that pendulum enemy. Well, everyone, this will be it for this part of the playthrough. So this is me, Mr. Tyrex, signing out. Peace out and enjoy.